Every species on Earth follows the same basic rules: age, get sick, and eventually die. Survival comes at a cost, and pain is part of life. Except a handful of animals somehow escaped those limits. They reverse aging, survive the vacuum of space, unleash chemical weapons from their own bodies, and ignore pain that would cripple almost anything else. Here are 5 animals that shouldn't exist, and the reason they do anyway. Pistol shrimp. In the shallow reefs of the Pacific and Indian Oceans lives a creature barely 5 centimeters long, armed with one claw larger than its own body. When that claw snaps shut, it doesn't just strike its prey. It fires a jet of water so fast the pressure behind it collapses, forming a bubble that implodes with a shockwave. For one fraction of a second, the temperature inside that collapsing bubble spikes to nearly the surface of the sun. The sound produced is louder than a gunshot, strong enough to stun or kill small fish several body lengths away. A shrimp that fits in the palm of your hand is, for an instant, one of the hottest and loudest things in the ocean. Immortal Jellyfish. Off the coast of Japan drifts a jellyfish the size of a fingernail, and it has quietly solved the one problem every living thing is supposed to lose to. When Turritopsis dohrnii is injured, starved, or simply old, it doesn't die. It sinks to the seafloor and begins reversing its own development, transforming its mature cells back into an earlier, juvenile stage of life. It is, in effect, growing backward. Once it reaches that younger form, it can mature all over again and repeat the cycle indefinitely, barring disease or being eaten. There is no known biological clock that forces this animal to die of old age. Tardigrade. Under a microscope, it looks almost comically harmless. A plump, 8-legged speck often called a water bear. But drain every drop of water from its body, and instead of dying, it curls into a dry, glass-like shell and simply pauses. In this state, its metabolism drops to nearly zero. It has survived being frozen to nearly absolute zero. Boiled past the point, water turns to steam, crushed under pressures found in the deepest ocean trenches, and blasted with radiation that would kill a human many times over. In 2007, tardigrades were carried into orbit and exposed directly to the vacuum of space. Most of them survived, and some went on to reproduce. Bombardier Beetle. Threaten this insect and it doesn't run. It aims. Inside its abdomen are 2 separate chemical chambers that, when the beetle is disturbed, mix instantly and react. The resulting explosion sprays a boiling, corrosive liquid out through a rotating nozzle at the tip of its body, precise enough to hit a threat from almost any angle. The chemical reaction happens so fast, it produces an audible popping sound with every burst, and the beetle can fire it repeatedly in rapid succession. It is essentially a living chemistry set that has weaponized its own digestion. Naked mole rat. Underground in the arid regions of East Africa lives a mammal that seems to have opted out of aging altogether. It can survive up to 18 minutes without oxygen by switching its cells to run on fructose instead, a trick otherwise seen only in plants. It almost never develops cancer, feels no pain from acid or chemical burns on its skin, and can live past 30 years, an almost unheard of lifespan for a rodent that size. Most rodents its size live 2 or 3 years before their bodies begin to fail. This one simply doesn't follow that timeline. None of these animals cheated evolution. They are evolution, taken to its most extreme conclusion. Every one of them was shaped by an environment so harsh, so competitive, or so strange that ordinary survival strategies weren't enough. So biology did what it always does when the stakes are high enough. It found a loophole. Subscribe if you want to keep discovering the animals evolution wasn't supposed to allow.